But I can tell you this.
Tell them.
I'm talking to you. Your platform will expand. The step that you made on faith was a complete one. And there were people who actually advised you against it. And they made you feel totally crazy and asinine for stepping out on faith. But God said, because you stepped out on the water, Peter, Jesus said, I'm going to meet you there. And those who are expecting you to sink, tell them they in for a rude awakening. I also see sponsors. Yeah, they're coming. I say, go to sleep at night, because you go to sleep stressed, tossing and turning like, oh my God, is it going to work? Did I make the right decision? Blah, 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 blah. God said, go to sleep. I got you. Now I'm done with that.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Je Vaughn Show. I am your host, JeVaughn. Yeah, we're gonna go with JeVaughn today, and I am thrilled to be still here in lovely, sunny but cold Las Vegas, and I'm here just getting content for you all, the Je Vaughn Show audience. What I need you to do before you do anything else, go ahead and like today's show. Yeah, I know you haven't even watched it yet. It doesn't matter. We're live. Like it and then share it. So even if you're not going to stay for the whole show, like it and then share it, and then more people will come on, and then more people will like it, and then more people will share it, and then it'll be a great time. I'm not going to talk this fast for the entire duration of the show because I don't have that type of stamina. But what I do have is an amazing guest who's going to come on the line right now and share with you this thing called joy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Amos Greer.
Oh, thank you, JeVaughn, sir.
Mr. Greer, how are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being had. It is a great honor to have you on the show. For those who are unaware, they've been under a rock, they don't know about that joy, please give them an idea of who is Amos Greer.
Well, Amos Greer, I'm a gospel artist from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. Been, of course, in church all my life. And in 2015, I was blessed to work with the producer by the name of Donald Buster Woods, who gave me an opportunity to go in the studio with him and produce my first debut project. And that, again, that was in 2015. So in 2016, we had a goal to produce a gospel video for one of the songs that were on the project called Joy. Now, so with Joy and the entire project, after year, things have changed. You know, the industry changed, the pandemic. Then, you know, I've had a couple other singles in between that. But one thing I realized is two things, actually, regarding this song, Joy. One is that we had an opportunity to incorporate a legend. Her name is Dr. Ludella Evans Reed. And for those in Chicago or maybe around the world still know about the great Fellowship Baptist Church, where Charles Jenkins was the pastor there after Clay Evans. And now we have Reginald Sharp as the pastor there. But the great Ludella Evans Reed is 92 years old. And she has been the director all those years working with the church. And I wanted to incorporate her in this video. So I was able to get her into doing the short story video. She's hilarious. You've got to see the video. But the most important thing is she embeds love and joy. And that's why we re-released the song. To encourage the world, especially after all we've gone through, is that joy is on the way.
Absolutely. Now we're going to show a little bit of the video before we get out of here today, but I want people to really get an idea of who you are. How did you get connected with Donald Buster Woods, a Chicago legend?
Yeah, well, I tell you, my nephew, I have to give credit to my nephew. He sung with Donald Buster Wood's choir called G3. And I was amazed. I went out to a concert and saw these young people singing and giving God the glory. And I'm like, but they rocking, they killing it. So he was invited to my church at Trinity United Church of Christ when our pastor was installed, oldest Dr. Moss III. And I said, you know what? I talked to my nephew. I said, can you talk to Buster and see if he'd be willing to produce a CD for me? Now, Buster don't know me, but he knew my nephew. And my nephew, they're real close. He said, my uncle wants to do a CD, so can you help him out? And it's just word of mouth and talking to people. And he followed through. He said he was willing to help me. We went into the studio. We produced a great project. And so that's how that connection came with Donald Buster Woods. And from there, he connected me with so many other people. So I'm very grateful.
That is awesome. G3, God Gets the Glory, is an amazing group out there in Chicago. Like you said, high energy. Did you bring, or did you want that type of energy and feel with your project? And do you feel that you were able to accomplish that?
Absolutely, and did accomplish it. G3 was actually all of the selected few that were able to came out to the studio to help with the background vocals. So there was a family oriented relationship that was bonded with G3 and Buster and myself. Of course, my nephew singing with them, all of his close friends, they all joined in. So it just became just a great celebration of people who are just trying to encourage others. And G3, again, that's, they wanted to embed to the young people out here that, you can give God the glory and you can be happy and successful. And to have that kind of energy behind me was amazing. So it was great. It was great.
Now, a lot of people, when they want to put out music, they'll release a single here or there. What gave you the inspiration to do a full project?
Well, I tell you, this was my first debut project, and I was singing in the gospel fields for many years. So I've seen great artists in Chicago that I've noticed and was able to observe, like Pastor DeAndre Patterson, Malcolm Williams, these great voices and great individuals. And so what I did is I said, you can't anticipate that you'll be around 5 years, 6 years from now. While God give you the strength to do what you're doing now, I said, let me reach out to these individuals who affected and helped me with my life and throughout the years. And so I've got actually, debut featured artists, Pastor DeAndre Patterson on that project, Malcolm Williams. I've got Angie Spivey, Pastor Angie Spivey on there. So these are some great Chicago legends. Yes. And then Mama Della Evans Reed, Mama Lou, she was able to actually incorporate a choir, which was called GMAC, Gospel Music According to Chicago, which has Oliver Price and all these other great traditional artists. So I do have a song that was dedicated to her on that project. So that's why I was glad to get her back on this short story remake of Joy.
So I'm born south side of Chicago. So I grew up with Mark Hubbard and Ricky Dillard and all of that good music. Yeah. What was the inspiration for you to even want to navigate though through the gospel music scene in Chicago? Because Chicago, you keep mentioning all of the heavyweights. So it takes a certain type of mentality to say, you know what? I'm just as talented. I'm just as gifted. God has blessed me with this just as much as he's blessed them. Let me go ahead and put myself out there. It takes a lot to do that in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I do know, and this is for anyone. If God placed something on your heart, he's going to open doors for you. He's going to make it happen. And I could not have imagined on my own, but I had a vision. And I've heard a pastor say, you have to have a vision. You have to have a goal. And my vision was to have a project with these heavyweights, only because they meant so much to me. And they were so kind and generous to come out and be a part of the project. So for me, my desire was having that vision. So if any of you out there have a vision for a book or for a story or a movie, you just have to just go out and just ask God to make a way for you. And that's what God did for me. He had opened doors and made it possible for me to put this project together with all these great legends. And I'm thankful for that. So.
Were there any legends that you reached out to that was like, nah, bro, I don't want to do it? And if you want to give their name and their social media handle, right now is the time. Let's go. Let's just put them out there. Who was it?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. I haven't run across anyone that said, no, I can't do it. What I have ran across was, you know, I would love to, but I don't have the time, or they're just too busy. I remember I reached out to an artist and he was like, I could come out, but it'll be in year 2023. And that was, you know, 6 years ago, right? So I'm thinking, okay, all right, well, that's great, but let me try to move on. So no, I haven't had anyone that just said no. But I know this was all part of God's will, because all these individuals said yes. And that's what we want to focus on, that positivity, those people that are giving of themselves and their talents. And that's where I want to focus on. So
I love the fact that you're saved and you're like, you know, no, we're going to keep it positive. We're going to talk about the ones who are on it, not the ones who didn't get on it. Because, you know, if this was reversed, like JeVaughn, who wanted to be interviewed? Who did you want to interview and they didn't want to do interviews? Let me tell you who. And then social media handle at. But we're not. But so that's great. I'm glad that you were able to get the people. And you know what? God sent who was supposed to be on the project. And that's what's important. One of those people that he did send was Malcolm Williams. What was it like working with the Malcolm Williams?
Well, I actually was introduced to Malcolm Williams more on a personal level through the choir called GMAC, Gospel Music Choir in Chicago. Dennis Cole is the leader of that organization. And Mama Lou is the main director. So all of these legends that were involved with that choir were all supportive. But when I thought about the gift that Malcolm Williams has when he reaches out and he ministers, and I just said to myself, I love that energy. I love that energy. I would love to do a duet with this gospel legend. You know, he's a young gospel legend. So I literally reached out to him, gave him a call, and then I saw him at rehearsal again. And I said, I'm working on a project. I'm new to this. You know, no one knows Amos Greer. I said, but I would really like to know if you have any songs or projects that you would like to do. So he wrote this song called Joy. Malcolm Williams wrote the song. And then I said, well, can you come out to the studio and let's collaborate? And he was willing to do that. So he came out and we did the song together, which has just been great. Yeah.
It's fantastic. And I want to show just a little bit of this real quick. And what this is it's the video. Now, I mean, you got Mark Hubbard in it. You got Malcolm, of course, in it. You got Mama in it. What brought about the concept of this music video? What made you want to actually
look at me, look at her, brother?
Well, you know, I'll tell you again, like I said, God will place people in your life that you may not have a vision. You may not know what the plan is, but you got to go with the flow, right?
Have a seat, boy.
So that's Mama Lou. She is hilarious, hilarious. And that's why I love the video so much, because anyone that knows her, she's so sweet and loving. That's why everyone calls her Mama Lou. She's the mama to everyone. But in this video, she shows the skills that she has to acting. And we told her we're doing like a spoof from the Blues Brothers, which was a movie that was formed in Chicago years ago. And so Mama Lou was able to emulate that mean, you know, nun.
Come in front of me. I need to see.
So she just her alone. And that way, I just want to say something. That's why I'm reaching out to you, is because not so much for myself, but we have a living legend, 92 years old, living right now, that's in good health. And I want to celebrate her. So I'm reaching out to everywhere I can to say, hey, you all, help me share this video, show the world how funny and how encouraging she is, and get to know the real her if you don't know her. But if you know her, you love her. So I want to celebrate her now. I don't want to wait 4 or 5 years from now and say, wow, I wish I would have done that with Mama Lou. You know, so she was already on my project. She directed a song, which she is known to direct.
She
yeah. Oh, yeah.
In there.
Yeah. So
you gonna
right. When she did that song on my project, I said, I'm dedicating this song to Mama Lou. And Buster did a little twist to the song as well, but I didn't have the video crew at the time. Right. So I met a young man who was just coming to Chicago to study cinematography. And he said, what do you like to do? I said, well, I'm a gospel artist. I said, but you know, it's kind of tough because there's so much money to do this and blah, blah. And he says, well, do you have to think about doing a video? I said, yeah, but it's very expensive. Do you know that this young man did the entire video and did not charge me anything to do the video? And although it took 2-3 years, because all during school, we had the pandemic, and then my father passed. Buster Miller was sick and she passed. And so there was so many things that happened in between that time. And I said, well, if God is going to make this happen after 5 years, I said, and Mama Lou is still here. I said, Mama Lou, just do an intro for this video. All you have to do is just, this is, you're the nun that wants me to go out and raise money for the church. And she came out in 22 and she slayed it. She just slammed it. And it's hilarious. That alone to me is just, it's worth it. It's worth it. You got to take some time to look at that video. So
it's so awesome too, because it looks like it was not filmed with an Android phone.
No,
I mean,
hey, wait a minute. I got an Android now. Wait a minute now.
And I'm glad that you didn't use it to make this video.
You're right, because I would have been in trouble.
But like, it's so clean,
yeah.
Though. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking video. And I mean, clearly you got some acting chops in you. Are there more short films to come from you? Are you looking to get more into the entertainment video side of things?
Well, I tell you, I won't say no to anything. But that my goal was to just emulate and put people into a place of me being the tough guy, street guy, cool and tough. And anybody know me, that's just not me, right? Especially if I'm going to disrespect an elder like Mama Lou, that is not me, right? But that was part of the role. So I wanted to play the role, come in there mean and like be disrespectful, because I wanted her to beat me down, in which she did. and change my life to go out and do right by God. So that was the whole thing, to go out. She said, I want you to go out and share joy. And that's the reason why she came out and did the video. Really, she said, if you're going to go out and do something that's going to encourage our people, I want to be involved in it. That's why I'm pushing it right now. So.
Well, I'm happy to push it as well. When I got the call and they said you had the opportunity to interview Amos Greer, I said, I know the name. I know I've heard the song because, I've heard the song Joy, but then I went and saw the video and I said, oh my, this is going to be fun. This is a good personality guy. He understands what it is to just kind of let yourself be free. Don't take yourself too seriously.
That's right.
Those are the gospel artists who I love to talk to and get to know. You mentioned your father passing, and I want to give a little bit of time to that because I'm big on family. If you don't mind, can you just tell us a little bit about your upbringing and maybe how he influenced or encouraged you to do what it is that you're doing right now?
Sure. My father was amazing. His name, Henry Greer, and I have to say Deacon Henry Greer. He was the chairman of the deacon board at my church as a child. And anyone that knows my father loves him. He had a big spirit. He was involved in a lot of churches throughout the city of Chicago. So whenever they had conventions at other churches or installments or whatever that may be, he would go visit these churches and they all knew him. They say, oh, Deacon Greer. So just watching that image of being respected and living right and helping others. And I remember, opening up the doors of the church early in the morning. And they say that for, when you go into service, we're going to open the doors of the church. My father was literally, there. He was there at 6 in the morning with the keys, opening up the door to church to make sure the people got in there to do what they need to do, get breakfast ready or get the service ready, get things ready for the service. And so all those years watching him, preaching the word, through his testimony. And he was a singer too. My dad was a singer. So, but you would have to, it would take so long to really describe how great of a man he was. But anyone that knows him can testify to the fact that Deacon Henry Greer was really something special. So I just wanted to emulate and do something good. And I think that's why when you see other people giving you an example, that's powerful. Because you encourage others to do the same. And so that's why I'm here today in what I'm doing. I love R&B, R&B, I got some songs I love. And, but I said, and I actually was pursuing a career in R&B years before I, decided to do gospel. So in 87 to 91, R&B was my thing. And I had a big show. It was called the Cotton Club in Chicago. And you may remember that. And it wasn't fulfilling. You had the people there screaming for you, but when it was over, it was over. And I'm not knocking anybody else, but for me and my spirit, I said I need to do something for those who are struggling, who are dealing with challenges, and encourage them that beyond all the things that's going on in the world, we can make it through. So all my songs, they're all about encouraging and helping those who are dealing with depression and anxiety and giving up. And so this song, Joy, was just a blanket song to say, hey, don't matter where you come from, no matter what your religion is. And some people get stuck on that. But you need to know that whatever challenges you're dealing with, joy is on the way. So don't give up. Don't give up. And that whole video is about that. It's just after 2016 up to 2023, just releasing a video. If that's not a testimony to say, don't give up and joy is on the way, I can't tell you what is. So
absolutely. Do not give up. Right. Know that joy is on the way. Thank you for allowing us to celebrate your father for just a moment.
Yes.
I'm big on family, and I'm sure that he meant something. I know now that he meant something very special to you. So
absolutely.
Thank you for allowing us to know more about him.
I just want to say one thing. At the end of the video, when you watch it, I do have a picture of my father on there, and it says, in honor Deacon Henry Greer, along respect for Mama Lou, of the legendary Reverend Clay Evans. So I have both of their pictures there at the end of the video, just to remind people that where I came from, my father image had a big part of that. And Mama Lou, the same with her. Everything that she has done over her life, she was a supportive of the Reverend Dr. Clay Evans. And so I wanted to honor both of them at the end of the video as well. So.
Excellent. And job well done, sir. Before I let you go, there's a small thing that we do on the show, and everybody has to participate. So either you up right now, or you have to be part of the creative break. Here's what you have to do.
Okay.
Normally, I would have you do something, sing something, since you are a singer, that is outside of what people would normally subscribe you to be. So for the gospel artists I have come on, they have to sing something R&B, country, jazz. For the secular artists, they normally have to do something gospel. I want to do this for you, though. In honor of your father, Deacon Greer, we're going to do our favorite Deacon song. Okay. So give you 30 seconds to think of yours. And while you're putting yours together, I'm going to go ahead and do mine. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. See that rhyme right there? I will trust. Come on, everybody. In the Lord. My part right here. Until I die.
I will trust. Okay, all right.
Okay, you do my song. Nope, you got to pick your own song. Pick your own song, Reverend Greer.
All right, here we go. This Deacon Greer. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. Now that's how he said. Now I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. That's how you do a successful creative break. Apostle, the good Reverend Dr. Greer, can you please let people know how they can find you on social media?
Sure. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, but go to YouTube, type in Amos Greer and look for Joy. Watch that video, subscribe to it. Of course, I need you to like it and subscribe. Also, the re-release of Joy is on Spotify, all the streaming networks. And I was actually at a concert last night with Courtney, and I tell you, he made it very clear that you have to stream these songs for these artists. You know, your support and liking it and saying I like that song is very important. But to take a moment or a minute or two and hit stream and buy the CD or that song or like it or share it, that's powerful. So I certainly hope that you can do that.
I appreciate that, Reverend Mr. Greer. I'm going to keep giving you titles, but this has been a great interview. This has been fun.
This has been great.
I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your gift with the world. Let's get and gentlemen, he's more than a Chicago artist. He's an international brand, and you all need to stream the song and go to that video. Amos Greer, go to the YouTube right now. Go watch it. Then stop being selfish. When you watch it, share it with somebody else so that they can get blessed and know about the joy as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on the Je Vaughn Show.
Thank you so much for all that you do and continue doing it. Yes.
Bless you, sir. Bless you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Amos Greer. The single is on everywhere where you can get a single, but go to the YouTube, watch it, share it. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Love everybody.
Attention business owners and high-level executives. Is your company's website ADA compliant? If you don't know, then it's likely that it isn't. Companies are being sued right now because their websites are not ADA compliant. Why? Because it's against the Americans with Disabilities Act compliance law. From small businesses, online marketers, realtors, e-com store owners, to doctors' offices, restaurants, nonprofits, medium and large corporations, nobody is safe. You may even know a company that's being sued right now because their website is non-compliant. You don't have to be a sitting duck any longer. Annexus Media Group has the best solution for you. Introducing Annexus ADA. Our new ADA compliance software allows us to offer you an entire suite of ADA compliance services that won't just put you in compliance, but also open your business up to the $650 billion disability market that you may not be serving right now. Our software will put you in position to meet the demands of several different areas of disabilities and inclusions based on need. Annexus ADA compliance software solutions will help get your content to people with limitations and make your quality content available in over 50 languages. Their experience with your website and company, now being compliant and inclusive, will be second to none. Annexus ADA compliance software addresses 32 points of disabilities. Annexus also provides award-winning customer support by an experienced team ready to serve your needs. Our software is also great for your SEO rankings. Google gives more relevance to sites that are ADA compliant. To get started, first, go to www.anexusada.com. Second, choose the right plan based on your company needs. Let us know who referred you on your form to get a discount. And third, submit your request. Lastly, a representative will contact you to process your request and email you detailed instructions for installation. Your personal representative will walk you through every step. We look forward to serving you.
Go to my website, www.boldbossyblessed.com, and use discount code BBB Podcast to get a discount on this week's featured ebook, Supercharge Productivity, where you'll learn how to increase productivity in your life and your business by 20%.
Dr. C, so you're single.
Yes, I am.
And you're a single female pastor. You're very passionate, very powerful. Still single now, though. Is there something that you feel that needs to be adjusted in your life?
I was the young woman who believed waiting on God for marriage. All of that was ingrained into me. Okay. But as I got older, I started to realize that I can't stay in the house and expect God to send my husband to the door. Though I know God can, we know the Lord is able. Hallelujah.
I used to be a FedEx delivery man. Keep going as you were. Keep going.
Wait, I can't. So, but I had to understand that I had to be just like the story of Naomi and Ruth. Okay, there's no way Boaz would have seen her if she had not been out there in the field gleaning. So what I am saying is that being full of the Holy Ghost, you know, I'm trying to keep my body and my temple together and keep it consecrated. But I also understand that I have to put myself where I can be found.
Yes.
Because staying in the house just means I'm hidden.
Get a little bit crazy.